Meditations for every day in the year by Bishop Richard Challoner. October 18th, on the virtue of chastity. Consider first the excellence of the virtue of chastity, which makes us in this mortal flesh resemble in some measure the angels in heaven. Matthew 22:30. And which entitles us to be the special favourite of Jesus Christ, the lover of purity and the spouse of pure souls, who, when he came amongst us, would not be born but of the purest of virgins, and ever showed the most particular love to his virgin disciple St. John, to whom also, on account of his purity, he recommended his Virgin Mother when he was dying on the cross. John 19:27. And who, in heaven, is ever followed by virgins whithersoever he goeth, who sing before the throne, as it were, a new canticle, which none of the rest of the blessed can sing. Apocalypse 14, verses 3 and 4. Chastity is the lily of virtues, the bright ornament of the soul, the profession and practice of which by so many thousands is one of the greatest evidences of the truth and of the excellency of the Christian religion, of the wonderful grace it communicates to its followers, and of the purity and sanctity of the author of it. O my soul, let us ever esteem, love, and embrace this angelical virtue, which makes its lovers the favourites of heaven. Consider, secondly, in what manner this virtue is recommended to all Christians by the Apostle, 1 Thessalonians 4, verses 3, 4, and 7. This is the will of God, saith he, your satisfaction, that is, that you should be pure and holy, that you should abstain from fornication, that is, from all uncleanness, that every one of you should know to possess his vessel, that is, his body, in sanctification and honour, not in the passion of lust, like the Gentiles who know not God. For God hath not called us into uncleanness, but to holiness, that is, to purity and chastity. Yes, Christians, the virtue of chastity, by the will and law of God, and by the sanctity of the Christian calling, is for all, married as well as unmarried. The married must be chaste, not only by keeping their bed undefiled by adultery or any unnatural excess, but also by refraining from every thought, word, or action that is not confined within the several limits fixed by the divine law of matrimony, or that is not referred to any of these holy ends for which God instituted marriage. Oh, how necessary is this conjugal chastity! Oh, how many thousands are lost in this state by allowing themselves many criminal liberties, and falsely imagining everything to be lawful for them which their unbridled passions suggest. The unmarried must also keep themselves pure and chaste, by constant care absolutely to resist and to renounce all carnal pleasures, and all the irregular motions or impressions of lust, either in body or in mind. Consider, thirdly, that in order to procure or maintain this precious virtue of chastity, besides the necessity of fervent prayer, for no one can be continent except God gave it, Wisdom 8:21, two other virtues are also necessary, without which chastity will not be able to stand her ground for any long time in the soul, viz., mortification and humility. By mortification the flesh is brought under subjection to the spirit, and by humility the spirit is subjected to God, and thus the whole man becomes regular and orderly, and easily resists the passion of lust. But where the flesh is unmortified, it grows headstrong and unruly, and where the spirit is proud, it is justly abandoned by God to the slavery of those shameful passions, from which it shall never be delivered but by humility. Conclude. To labour with all thy power for the acquisition of this precious jewel of purity and chastity. O spare no cost to purchase it. It is worth all thou canst give for it, and infinitely more. But remember, it will never stay long with thee if thou gave entertainment to its mortal enemies, intemperance and pride.